Our next topic is all about our stick diagram and layout rule. So first of all, I would like to say that why stick diagram is required. So you know that when we are designing or we are implementing some logic design circuit, so that logic design circuit we have to put inside some ASIC or inside some IC. So for that one, let's say we are trying to implement some NOT gate or inverter circuit. So inverter consists of your PMOS and NMOS, and this PMOS and NMOS will have some particular layout and some that will follow some design rules. So this layout, it is very difficult to get the final layout. So before final layout, we have to take care about our circuit diagram or about the connectivity of different layer, so that closer view of that layout is called our stick diagram. So VLSI aims to translate the circuit concept onto a silicon. So the stick diagram are means of capturing topography and layer information using a simple diagram. A stick diagram convey layer information through color codes. So we will be using some color code. So just like a blue will represent our metal, and red will represent our gate or gate, and green will represent our NMOS, yellow will represent our PMOS, P diffusion layer. So in this way we can represent our color code, or by using a stick diagram we can get some idea about the layout of some circuit inside that chip. So stick diagram may be called a cartoon of a layout. So a stick diagram does not show the exact placement of component. It does not show the transistor size, wire length, wire width, and tub boundaries. Any other low level details such as a paratotics we cannot get from the stick diagram. So here we are getting some color code. Metal represented by blue color, polysilicon represented by red color, N diffusion represented by green, and P diffusion almost yellow, or it may be some orange. So depending upon this color concept, and contact cut is shown in the figure, and buried contact is also. Let us move on to some rules of that stick diagram. So these rules we have divided into different steps. So rule 1, first one is that when two or more sticks of the same type cross or touch each other, that represent electrical contact. Number 2, when two or more sticks of different type cross or touch each other, there is no electrical contact. Number 3, when poly crosses diffusion, it represents your transistor. So if the red poly cross your green, it will represent N diffusion. If red poly cross a yellow, it represents P diffusion. So if contact is not shown, then it is not a transistor. Next one is that PMOS in a CMOS, a dimension line is drawn, a demarcation, not in CMOS, a demarcation line is drawn to avoid touching of P diffusion with N diffusion, and all PMOS must lie on one side of the line, and all NMOS will lie on the other side. So let us take example of stick diagram for your simple inverter. So inverter consists of your PMOS and NMOS in series, and both the gates are short circuited to V input, and the output we are getting from the connection of PMOS and NMOS. So V out, VDD is your 5 volt. First we have to draw the metal contact, that is denoted by blue line, and from that blue line we have connected our PMOS connection, that is denoted by green line, and this PMOS connection and another portion of that PMOS is connected again a blue line that will represent your output, and that is also connected one terminal of your NMOS, and another terminal of your NMOS is connected to this ground by using N line. So similarly this we are using the input voltage, and the input is connected to the polysilicon line, so that is denoted by red line. So this is shown in the figure. So from this stick diagram we have a clear cut of objective or perspective of the layout. So how to put our layout for our inverter. So next one we have seen the stick diagram of your NOR gate. So in that stick diagram of your NOR gate, two NMOS are in parallel and two PMOS are in series. So this shows the NMOS and CMOS, NMOS and PMOS connection. So the two PMOS are in series and two NMOS are in parallel, and A, B are two input and output is taken from this one, and this is your blue line. So here we are representing our VDD line for your metal contact, that is nothing but it is represented by normal blue color, and similarly ground is also represented by metal, so that is also represented by blue color, and PMOS will be represented by a line that is crossed by polysilicon, that is green line, that red line crossing your green line will represent your NMOS, and red line crossing your yellow line, that is called your PMOS. So this is shown in the stick diagram. So from this stick diagram we can get the idea about the layout of CMOS NOR gate. Next we have some design rules. Depending upon these rules we can make a layout. So the layout must be drawn using a proper scale and specific rule. The set of rules are known as a design rule. Typically design rules are spacing between objects, minimum width, minimum overlap. So there are basically two type of design rule. One is called your micron rules, another called is lambda rules. When the design rules are expressed in values in micron unit, then the design rules are called micron rule. And next one is your lambda rule. When the rules are expressed in terms of unit lambda, then that is called your lambda rule. So by using the concept of a scalable lambda rules, the MOS implementation service, that is MOSIS, were developed in 1980. So let us differentiate this micron rule and lambda rules. So here in case of a micron rule, it is an absolute design rule, and lambda rule basically scalable design rule based on absolute distance, just like your 0.5 micrometer in case of your micron rule. In case of lambda rule, based on unit lambda, whose lambda is the size of minimum feature. Next one is your here micron rule is a specific process technology, tuned to specific process technology. But in case of your lambda rule, it is a generic for all process technology. So for each new process, the technology rule must be generated as a phrase in case of your micron rule. But in case of lambda rule, the lambda rule for each new processes technology, lambda is reduced, keeping the rule same. So let us take some design rule, MOSIS design rule. Just like for your metal, the dimension minimum width, the value will be for lambda. Diffusion minimum space will be for lambda. Contact area will be equal to 2 lambda by 2 lambda. So polysilicon minimum width overlap to diffusion is 2 lambda and minimum spacing is 3 lambda. for your N well surrounds P well, avoid NMOS is 6 lambda. So here these are the rules you have to follow while drawing our layout. It's very difficult to remember, but if you know about the stick diagram, first you draw your stick diagram and apply the design rule for that stick diagram, that will turn into your layout. So in the figure, minimum width of polysilicon and diffusion is 2 lambda. It is shown in the figure, and minimum width of metal line is 3 lambda. And here these metal lines are represented, this shown in the figure. Similarly, metal to metal spacing will be 2 lambda. Polysilicon to polysilicon spacing is also 2 lambda. And diffusion to diffusion spacing is 3 lambda to avoid the possibility of their associated region overlapping and conducting current. Here we have a poly space, is diffusion to polysilicon space is lambda to overlap, to prevent the line overlapping to form unwanted capacitor. Here metal lines can pass over the diffusion and polysilicon without electrical effect, so there is where no separation is specified, and metal lines can overlap or cross. So metal line can pass over both diffusion and polysilicon without electrical effect. So this is shown in the figure, and it is recommended practice to leave a lambda between a metal edge and polysilicon or diffusion line to which it is not electrically connected. Contact cut area will be 2 lambda by 2 lambda. This is shown in the figure, and this figure shows the different type of layout rules for your metal, 4 lambda spacing and width, and you have a polysilicon distance 2 lambda and width is distance separation is 3 lambda, width is 2 lambda. So here we have seen the structure of our N well and formation of our inverter. So N well we have a 6 lambda and 6 lambda separation for our NMOS and PMOS. This is shown in the figure. Let us take an example of our CMOS NAND gate. So from the stick diagram we can convert that stick diagram into design rule by using its design parameters lambda. So lambda is your minimum design parameters, and here first we defined N well depending upon that lambda value, then we can make the width of our metal layer, then we have PMOS formation, and we have to take the distance between our two polysilicon distance by using our lambda rule. And here you have again metal contact. This metal line is also separated from a polysilicon distance, separated from our green zone, that is nothing but our NMOS. So obviously you have to maintain the separation of all these things, and also width of any layer. That is very, very important for our layout design purpose. So next one we have a CMOS NOR gate. For this CMOS NOR gate you design for first your N well, then maintain your width of your metal, and then polysilicon contact polysilicon, and also for your N diffusion and P diffusion to get our NMOS and PMOS, and contact size you have to maintain over there to get the actual contact. So you have a 2 input, so the 2 input, so that you have a 2 polysilicon to represent a 2 PMOS and 2 NMOS. This is shown in the figure, and you have to follow the design rule, and that design rule basically represent your width of any layer, spacing of that layer, and to avoid the overlapping between different layers. So that's all about our class. Thank you.